People Station V-103 Marsha Ambrosius is in the studio,
Yes.
and we have been talking about this amazing album. Please go out and buy it. Now, I love to go to iTunes and just download albums because it goes right to my iPad, my iPod, my computer. And, certainly this is the album that you want to have. I just love the artwork. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
So pick it up so you could just have it. Hello.
I know. People, it's
this?
weird. The amount of people that wanted, they downloaded it as soon as it was available March 1st, but then the amount of people that actually wanted to physically go to a store and buy it to have the packaging, that was just amazing.
Well, mine was already stolen. So,
and there it is. And then you have the one for the car, the one you bring to the office, and there's like, my CD is missing. Someone took it out of my office. And then people are actually buying it and replacing it.
Oh, they got me.
That's just awesome.
They got me already. So I don't
That's
appreciate
a good thing.
that,
at least it's wanted.
Yes. It's not, it hurt my feelings, but at least someone's sitting good with some good music.
Right.
So, hey, if it helps them.
There it is.
The next song we're going to talk about is Lose Myself.
Yes, Lose Myself, written by Miss Lauryn Hill. I heard the song a while ago that she'd done on a soundtrack. It was the Surf's Up soundtrack, an animated feature. And I was like, what is this Lauryn Hill record on here? And the lyrics just blew me away. And I always sang along with it and figured if I were to ever do this record, I know how I'd want to recreate that song. So in getting her blessing to do so was just overwhelming. I was like, if I was ever going to get co-writers on my own album, because yes, I write, yes, I produce, but I didn't want to be selfish with this thing. And to have Lauryn Hill's perspective on love, especially in a way that I could relate to on this album, is just a phenomenal feat on my behalf, as I didn't expect, to have co-writes from Lauryn Hill, from Alicia Keys, from Sterling
I cannot
Sims.
take a Marsha and a Lauryn Hill together. So
Right. So I think when people hear the record, they hear the love in it first, and then they hear that, Lauryn Hill wrote it, and then, me putting my own spin on it. And it's one of those, for me, a real standout record on this album.
All right. Well, it's Lose Myself on the People Station, V-103. Okay. Now, Lose Myself, of course, Lauryn Hill, yourself, collaborated on that. Well, she wrote it.
She wrote it.
That's amazing for you as as such an accomplished songwriter.
Kanai Finch produced it. And I still can't believe it. Like, I press play and I'm like, that actually happened. Like, it happened. People have it. And she gave me her blessing to redo this record. And I know if I ever get to do a video or ever perform it live or something, I'd want it to be right there, just to honor her, because she is one of the best to ever do it.
Right.
She's an example of greatness, and that will never be taken away from her. And I had to pay my respects to her in some way, shape, or form. And the fact that I got to do that in the form of one of her pieces of work, great work at that, it's amazing.
It seems as though the most creative artists, the artists that still have something to give, are the ones who are not afraid to bring someone in, to accept, to still grow, which is so interesting. When we were talking before, when your album first came out, about Michael Jackson's willingness to say, you know what, I want you to teach me what you know. I want you, because I love what you do. Right,
and that was the thing about him being humble enough, even, being as iconic and legendary as he was, taking a chance on a chick from Liverpool, England. I hadn't had a credit to my name as far as producing and writing any music, but he loved the work, and that was the be-all and end-all. But that spoiled me.
Isn't that the reason why the great are so great? Because they
understand, of course. But then you get into the industry, and you come across someone who's brand new that won't even listen.
Right.
And it was weird.
Like a Michael Jackson.
Of course.
They're not on route to have a career like yourself.
But that is, you'd think that people would learn, or just even know that those are things that you should live and die by as an artist. Remain completely humble. I'm still learning. I haven't written my best song yet. I'm still growing and just enjoying life and learning from life to then create what is the music. And I will continue to do so. But to know that I don't know everything is freeing as an artist. I can still grow. And I got to experience you know, that very early on in my career with Michael Jackson.
You know, it's funny, Marsha, as you take over the radio here, which I let go graciously and allow you. Go ahead, take it over. You know, we've been talking and we have all these relationship topics, and it's so interesting to hear your perspective through your lyrics and through your songs and this album that you've put together, which I believe is just a great piece of a great work of art.
Thank you.
It's like you had a canvas and you said, you know what, I want to do this, and then here's the end result.
But you know what? I had the
Beautiful.
freedom to do so, whether that was through my management. Julius Erving III has been my manager for 11 years, and we know what we wanted to do as far as business, and then getting to J Records, who I'd had a relationship with because I'd worked with Alicia Keys and because I'd worked with Jamie Foxx, getting to do an album solely produced by myself and written by myself. I was allowed to be me. I guess these artists nowadays, it's very few artists that can do that, write and produce their own music and create their own albums, and I got to do that, especially with songs like Tears, who I produced with Focus, who lives in Atlanta. Hopefully he's listening. But I got to do that, and we'd done another record using a sample from the same group, Rolls Royce, and it was on the Car Wash soundtrack, and I had this piece of music and it had no lyrics on it whatsoever, and I was like, how does this make me feel? I remember being too young to understand how that piece of music was supposed to make me feel, and now that I was grown enough, I knew that I missed someone, and I knew that I was old enough to know better about whatever mistakes were made. I could admit my faults and know that I just want you to be right here with me.
Okay.
And I'm unafraid to cry, so it became
Let
Tears.
it out. That's what we need to do sometimes. Just get
Just
it out.
let it go.
It's called Tears,
Let
everybody.
it go.
It's Marsha Ambrosius, People Station V-103. Okay. Oh, the breakup song. You know, I have to get some things off my chest, and it seems as though I need to just pick up this this Marsha Ambrosius album. So, I mean, because I'm happy, and then I'm sad, and then I let it go, and then I feel better at the end of the day just from listening to this album. So tell me about the breakup song, because you are rehashing some things I thought I was over, and I'm not. So let's talk about the breakup song.
The breakup song for me is I don't have an emotional connection to it anymore. As I let that all go, I laid everything out on the table to be said from my end, with no fear of the consequence. When I say the consequence, the response. I didn't care if that meant we were staying together or if we were breaking up.
The truth. It is the truth. Not being afraid to tell the truth. You know, I heard Miss Van Zant say that, you know.
We had, well, me and this dude that I was seeing at the time, he called me and gave me the same old okie doke conversation that we'd been having for the couple of months that I knew it was starting to wind down.
You felt that this thing was winding down.
Completely over. And the first thing I said is, I need space. And as soon as I said that, we had a back and forth conversation. I hung up the phone and I literally wrote down everything we said in the conversation. So I need space, so let me decide where to go from here before I go crazy. And I was like, let me write a song. And it just became everything we spoke about on that phone call. And I was like, look, I love you. I don't know why, because this is like the worst feeling ever. But, you know, look, we're done. If I know it's not forever, like I'm too old to do the back and forth.
You know, you do get to a point where enough is enough. I mean, and I can
and
identify.
It was enough.
Yeah, and I was listening, like I started to say, if you're afraid, you're in hiding. You're not in love, you're in hiding if you're afraid to just speak the truth.
Right.
And I think that once you get to a certain age or understanding about yourself, you just have to say the truth, because you just do not want to be bound anymore. It's like, you know what? I don't like what you did. I don't, you know, and just having that.
Yeah, but he knew that.
Freedom.
I knew that. And that's why the song is as honest as it is.
It's just honesty. Okay, let's get into it. The breakup song, everyone. V-103.